Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to this video where we'll be counting down my best 5 cheap man of the match cards that are just basically supremely overpowered, highly underused and very affordable. However, if you do have any suggestions, maybe you think I've missed someone out, please leave that in the comments below, as well as commenting on any good special cards, because that will really help out future videos and I'll be sure to shout you out. If you do enjoy the video, obviously hit that like button, hit the subscribe if you're new to the channel, and without further ado, we will go ahead and put in our first candidate. So 88 Dzeko recently come out, and what a great card this is. Tons of people will just disregard him because of that pace. 68 pace, yeah, it doesn't look great, but if you want a player that will score without question, who's also got really good hold-up play, great height, really nice dribbling actually for a big man, this is your guy. He delivers a really good in-game experience. It will score you a lot of goals. Great if you do have a lot of fast players and you need to mix your game up. I found that really effective, was that he could do the things that a lot of the fast players couldn't, and there was a nice mix between them. That sort of big man, little man striker combo really works well with Dzeko, and he will score you a lot of goals. Both scrappy goals and really nice belters. He's got a great range of goals in his locker, and I think to be able to get an 88 player for the money that he's going for, I think is really impressive. And obviously that is mainly down to his pace, but he's in a great league. He's a really strong player to use, and I would highly advise going out and trying him. As you can see with his attribute details, yes, he's not the quickest. His acceleration isn't too bad at 71, but that's not how he'll play. What he does do well though is, as you can see, that shooting column is just insane. 96 on his attack positioning with 94 finishing means that he will make some superb runs. He'll find space where others can't, and then he'll put the ball in the back of the net, fundamentally. He's also got ridiculous shot power, so that keepers won't even see it when it goes past them. And then he also has decent-ish long shots. They're not the best, but that's really not too bad because of that amazing shot power that he possesses. His passing is okay, very neat and tidy, nothing really to brag about other than maybe a decent short passing. Dribbling is nice, although agility and balance do let him down. That's not really his bag, but with his actual ball control and the fact that he has 89 strength, he can shield it well. He can take it in tight areas and get it out of his feet ready to shoot or pass. He's also got superb heading accuracy, 97 there. Not the best jumping, but he is very tall, so it's not too bad overall. Incredible player. I would highly recommend going out and using Dzeko. I think he's an absolute boss in this game, and to have an 88 rated player for so cheap is always a good thing. So we move on now guys to our next pick, who is an interesting choice. As you can see, just like when I first saw this guy, you probably don't recognise him. However, if you look at the stats, this guy, while only 80 rated, which isn't that really big deal, he has 85 pace, 80 dribbling, 80 shooting and 82 physicality with 75 passing. His defending isn't that great, but overall this card is really decent, and in game it plays so much better. I'd never heard of him. I was doing some research for players I could use for this video, and I realised how cheap this guy was, and obviously that is mainly impacted by the fact that you will struggle to get him into a team. I'll admit, there are basically not enough players in the league, and there certainly aren't enough players with his nation, and those two factors mean that you will struggle unless you've got a few legends lying around that you can use, obviously, that link in with anyone. He is mainly a super sub, but what a super sub he is. For basically discard value, this guy represents a really good option. He is so good with the ball, he's got good pace, he's got really nice dribbling, and he will finish very well. Also got 4-star weak foot. I found him as a sort of cam type player to use, although you can use him at central midfielder. You can even use him at centre forward if you wanted to, but I think cam is definitely where you would want to bring this guy on in a game. He delivers time and time again with goals, with assists, and just with general play that will really excite you. As you can see with his attribute details, he is a really solid player. 87 acceleration is why he feels so quick in game, and then he's got really good attack positioning at 83. His shot power is superb. finishing at 75 may not seem incredible, but actually it's pretty good, and he does feel really good in game. Long shots are also very nice indeed. He's got great vision, his short passing and long passing are equally matched, not too bad there at all, can definitely lay it on for others. Great agility, really good ball control and dribbling, and he also has superb stamina and strength. I think this guy is a real unsung hero in this game, and I would highly recommend going out and trying him, because basically you've got nothing to lose. He will go for the same price that you pick him up, and you can even just discard him and you aren't really going to lose any money. But honestly, he really impressed me, and he's someone that you'll have never tried, you'll have never used, and you really should. Now we move on to our next pick, who is a little bit more famous this time around, and we will go for Jermaine Payet whenever I can put his name in. There we go. 86 rated, recently come out as well, and this is a great card. It's also very cheap in a similar way to Dzeko, because he is on the wing and he doesn't have quite the pace that people would like. But with the ball at his feet, there are very few better. 88 dribbling, 89 passing. The guy is an absolute god, and he's also incredible with his finishing. Feels way higher than 80 if I'm being honest. And 81 pace can be improved with the right chemistry style card. As you can see, I have got the Hunter card on him, and he proved very, very effective with that in place. He is very, very good in front of goal. He can score some absolute screamers, and that's why I love players like him, like Coutinho, who are so good with the ball, because even though they are a little bit slower than your average winger, the way that they move the ball in and out of their feet, they can cut inside and then just score some absolute screamers, makes them feel worth that sacrifice, I believe. And as you can see by looking at his pace in his attribute details, his acceleration initially is fine. 85 there is really good, so he does have an initial burst of pace, which I really enjoy. His attack positioning and finishing do leave a little bit to be desired, but his long shots, as you can see, are absolutely incredible, and he has 93 curve. So cutting in onto that right foot and then just curling it into the top corner is always a possibility. His vision, crossing, free kick accuracy, short passing, I mean basically everything in that passing column is absolutely insane, as is his dribbling. Yes, his agility and balance could be a little bit higher, but 91 on the ball control, 90 on the dribbling, and 86 on the composure are definitely some very, very nice stats. Overall, a great player to use, high rated as well, and one that you will have no trouble getting into your team. And one you can actually partner with this next guy, which is Germain. I believe it is how you say it, although I might be pronouncing it wrong. This card is very similar to Payet and Dzeko in terms of the pace will turn people off. But yet actually, this is one of the best unsung cards in the whole game. 85 rating is a really solid rating, although there are a lot of informs and other cards that will hold a higher rating. The way that this guy plays is almost like an 88 rated player. He is that effective in game. The pace isn't amazing, but it's not too bad either, and if you use the right chemistry style card on him, you can obviously up that. But where he really comes alive is that 87 shooting and the 86 dribbling with decent passing too. This guy would make a great cam if you wanted to use him there as well. It's a really solid card and very, very cheap. In game, he has some incredible stats. 83 acceleration and 83 sprint speed is equally matched, so he will maintain that pace throughout. And like I said, if you did want to use him at cam, then that's actually a really good amount of pace that you would need. The shooting column is exceptional, and that's where I found him to be very, very effective. 91 on his attack positioning is superb, 89 on the finishing, 85 on the shot power, and 83 on the long shots. Means that he's highly effective. He also has 83 curve, so he really can score from absolutely anywhere. He's so consistent with his shooting, and that is what I absolutely love about him. His dribbling also really makes up for that pace, because the pace is decent, but the fact that he's got 99 on his agility, and then he's got really good balance, he's got ball control and dribbling that are really high, means that he's so difficult to get the ball off. Even when he almost gets tackled, he somehow still manages to come out with the ball, which I think is absolutely superb. He's got good heading accuracy, he's got good jumping and stamina, and a card overall that I would highly recommend. So now we're going to go ahead and put in our final candidate. There were a couple of others that I could have used in this video, and I was quite close to using, but I went for Fred in the end as my final pick. 83 rated, and a really interesting card. Obviously a league that many people will not use, but the fact that he is Brazilian means that he's so easy to get into teams. So many Brazilians scattered throughout the leagues means that getting him into teams is very, very easy, but you can also use him as a super sub, no question at all. He originally comes as a CDM, which is quite weird considering that he's a much more attacking player, as you can see by the stats, but he can do a decent job in that defensive role, and as a central midfielder I think he's got a little bit of everything, although a lot will probably want to use him further forward. In front of goal he's actually really good and he will score you some good goals, even though his stats may not suggest that he's the best at this, but he's actually pretty adequate and will chip in with some really nice finishes. Where he really excels, however, is that pace and dribbling. 85 on both on the base card stats is incredible. He feels rapid. He's got lovely ball control and dribbling, whereby he will glide past people with absolute ease. Overall, I thought for a player that you can basically pick up for virtually discard value, I think he's a really, really good pick. He's got incredible sprint speed, so he does take a little bit to get going, but once he does get going, my God, is he absolutely incredible. The shooting column, as you can see here in its attribute details, maybe looks a little bit off, but it's not too bad. It's nothing really to brag about, which is probably why you wouldn't use him at cam. You'd probably use him as a central midfielder, but I found him to be pretty effective in front of goal and I had no problems with him getting in and finishing those chances. His passing is okay, it's pretty decent. 88 on the short passing is a really, really standout stat. He will definitely link up with others very, very well and chip in with some good assists. I love his agility, his balance, very, very high there, mixing really well with his ball control, dribbling, composure. The guy rarely loses the ball, he is absolutely exceptional. He's got a decent range of marking and stand tackles, as you can see there, so pretty decent in those defensive situations. Not the best, mainly because he has 47 strength, which is why I wouldn't really advise using him in a CDM role unless maybe you had two CDMs, then you could utilise his pace and tackling ability mixed in with someone maybe who's a little bit stronger. I think central midfield is definitely where to use this guy. He's also got really good jumping and stamina, so his pace will last throughout the whole game. I thought he was a great pick. He's an interesting pick, and some will probably overlook at him because he doesn't quite excel in as many areas as some of the other players that we've used in this video, but I think he's still a really good card, one that will fit into a lot of hybrid teams, and for virtually discard value I think he represents a really good pick. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Remember, if you've got any good man of the match cards that you can think of that I've missed out on, let me and everyone else know in the comments below, and also any good special cards in forms, SBCs, anything else at all, let me know in the comments below, and peace.